I'm currently in the Beamer, and in today's video I'm going to talk about and show you how my car's looking now that it's on the lowering springs and it's got spacers. It's going to be a quick POV talking about how it rides and now that it's on the lowering springs, how it feels, and you know, just a quick first drive in my car now it's lowered and how it's looking, how it should be from factory. But before we do that, yeah, I need to go fill up because this thing's thirsty. So I'll go fill up and then we'll go for a quick ride out. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please do like it, and if you aren't already subscribed, I think we're on like 420 subscribers now, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, please subscribe if you do enjoy, and I'll catch you in a minute. Okay, boys and girls, we're rolling and we're just filling up. Well, we're not just filling up, we've just filled up, should I say. Another 60 quid into this bad boy, and we're gonna head to a spot where I filmed a video not long back, before I got my car lowered, so you can get a direct comparison on how the car's looking before and after. Not that the scenery would make much difference, but it's just a quiet place I can go, so I figured why not, and let's use all 335 horse boys right now. There we go. So, ooh, is that an RS Summit? Oh, I don't know if you're the same as me, but ever since getting into cars, and what's this guy doing? Choose a lane, fucking knob. Ever since getting into cars, I'm like, I can't go past a car without saying what it is. And that's like an unhealthy habit of mine. Every time I'm with the missus and there's a car, I'm like, oh, I've got to be quiet a sec. I'm like, oh yeah, that's that, and that's oh, that's an Audi, that's this and that. And before I was just like, I wasn't bothered. But since getting a nice car, I'm like, all the time, I'm like, you know what? I know what that car is. I'm gonna stop what I'm saying and point out and let everyone know that I know what that car is. And I know that a lot of you are the same. You can't, whenever you see a nice car, you've got to point out what it is, because it's just, I don't know, it's just a car person thing. But yeah, so getting into the point of this video of how it's feeling. The car, when I got into the car after it had been lowered, like straight away, as soon as I picked it up, oh, bumpy. As soon as I picked the car up, I was like, yeah, this is definitely lower. You can feel the difference between stock height and now how it is lowered. Now it's only 25mm, which is like that much, so it's not really that. You think that it'd go unnoticed. You're like, oh, you're already pretty low down, like it's not that bad. But honestly, no word of a lie, as soon as I got into the car, I was like, yeah, this has definitely been lowered. I can tell straight away. And I've also put the spacers on as well. I say I've a friend of mine, Owen, has sorted me out. He's fitted them for me and he's done a cracking job. So yeah, big up to Owen. And now that I've put the spacers on, the car is looking very, very nice. It's looking more of how it should have from factory. Like, these cars they're sports cars, they should come and look the way my car does now, in my opinion. This is, obviously you've got the 1M coupe, like the actual M1, not the road, the actual car, and then you've got this M140, which is a completely different car. However, if this car was an actual M car, I think it would come with a little bit more power than what this is running right now. I think it'd be close to 400, because let's be honest, these are severely detuned from factory, and you can tell that straight away from a stage 1 map. You don't need any external bits. You don't need you don't need upgraded turbo, you don't need anything. All stock parts underneath that bonnet. You can get easily 420 brake horsepower out of these from just a simple quick plug in onto the ECU and then flash it and tell it, yeah, rev higher, fucking put more fuel in and go faster. That's crazy to me. That just shows that these engines are really over engineered, and that's why they get so much praise, because it's essentially like 2JZ, like the older, you know, the Japanese cars, how they were, I think it was something to do with like some crisis of saying that people were killing themselves because the cars were too fast. And so what Japanese motor car companies did, they said, right, let's over-engineer the hell out of our engines and cars so that we sell them at 200 and I think it was something like 275 brake horsepower was the limit that they had to sell them at. And then as soon as someone plugs in a computer, it's like, yeah, you can easily double that power. And essentially that's what's happened with this car, because the M2, which is the smallest M car available, is a coupe version like this car, except this is a hatchback. Essentially, there wasn't too much of a gap between the M2 and this car when it was the N55 engine. In fact, the N55 engine is from the M140i, so it's essentially an M car, but they didn't market it as an M car because there's not that much difference between this car and the M2, and I think that's also why they've stopped making these cars, because they weren't selling the M2s. They wouldn't sell the M2s if this car was with a quick tune just as fast. So I think that's one reason why these come the way they do, without the LSD on the back, with the higher ride height, the brakes and everything sound, the engine perfect, the turbo's even good. And another difference between this and a M2 is, and I'm pretty sure the M2 is twin turbo, this is a twin scroll turbo, so it's a single turbo, this one is. However, it's almost like VTEC in Hondas, where you get that second life once you hit like 4,500 RPM. So the turbo will spool up from about 2,000 RPM, and yeah, I know that because as soon as you let off from about 2,000, you can hear the wastegate, and you can hear that turbo noise. And then once you go from 2,000 to 4,000, that's when it gets another kick. So it's constant power all the way through the rev range, which is another reason why these cars are so highly praised and so common. And so not common, because they can't be that common, because I didn't have a clue about these cars. Oh, that was nice. What was that, like a DeLorean or something? But yeah, I'm rambling on. Essentially, there wasn't that much difference between this car and the M cars, so they had to find a way of making this a little shitter, excuse my language, so that they could sell the M2 easier. Now, I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, you're still watching this video, so if you are enjoying me rambling, please do like the video. It really helps me out. It lets me know that you guys are enjoying this type of content. I know that you guys really like the POVs, because every time I upload one, I seem to gain like 5 or 6 subscribers every time minimum. And obviously when some of my videos blow up and they do all right, where they get like a couple thousand views, then obviously it's more. But you guys seem to really enjoy these videos, so I'm going to keep pumping them out. I've found a niche and I'm going to roll with it. And hopefully, once I'm done with this car and I maybe have a bit of spare cash rolling around, maybe off that YouTube money, who knows, we're not going to jinx ourselves or anything, but I might get a project car, and then obviously that just means more content, and we can switch between the M140 and other cars, keep this a little lower mileage as well, which would be good for if I ever resell. But I honestly don't think I'm going to sell this car. I'm going to run it to the ground, which hopefully will last me a very long time. So far so good. Now the speed bumps, getting onto that, because the car's been lowered, which you'll be able to see in a minute. I'm just pulling up to the car parking space where I'm going to show you how the car actually looks. Speed bumps. Now those the ones that go across all of the road, they're not bad. You can get over those still. They're all right. However, the speed bumps with, you know, the red speed bumps, if you're in the UK, you'll know what I mean, the horrible red speed bumps where they're like a diamond shape and they go like that. I'll probably get a picture and put it on the screen for you now when I'm editing. But you have to go over those at literally about 2 miles an hour. Any faster, and the speed and the force, because of the weight of you going up and down, it forces the bottom end of the car to scrape, and it's horrible noise. It's a disgusting noise, and it just makes me cringe every time. And I know that you lot with your low cars, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know that the pain and struggle of hearing your car scrape, you just think that's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. But thankfully, if I can go over them very slowly and it doesn't scrape, so it's still usable at this height. Kids, just don't look anywhere, dickhead, honestly. And so yeah, it's still usable, which is I'm really glad about, because it's the fitment. I really do like the fitment on how this looks, especially with the 15mm spacers that are on the wheels as well, which make it stick out more. Now, comfort wise, I would honestly say it feels the same. If it feels, the ride feels firmer, which is better for handling. That could have something to do with it being lower to the ground and the center of gravity being a little bit better. However, it doesn't feel any different comfort wise. It's not like I'm going to break my back going over these bumps. The seats are comfy enough, and the road, even though the roads in the UK are awful, like they're terrible, probably unless you're in a third world country, they're probably some of the worst. Ooh, this speed bump looks naughty. I'm gonna go on the other side of that. Oh no, hopefully I don't bottom out on this. Oh no, we're good. I'm glad about that. I'm really glad about that. No, but sorry, I forgot what I was saying. The fact that it's still usable, and the fact that it's comfort. It still feels just as comfy as it did on stock springs. Now we're gonna pull up here, and I'm gonna get out and actually show you how the car is looking. There's a few people around, but I'm not bothered. I'm really not fussed. I'm just showing you guys my car, because all 420 of you deserve it, because you've supported me. You leave likes and comments all the time, and I'm gonna show you how my car is looking right now. So I'll probably keep this clip rolling because I'm only gonna get out, and then I'll show you how it's looking and we'll end the video there. So I'll leave it running because I'll be going in a minute. Right, we're coming off PoV. We're on handheld mode now. Hopefully you can see me. Hopefully we're still recording as well. Now then, get ready. There we go. Look at that. It's looking loads better, loads tidier. Especially on the back, where the bigger tyres than the front, it makes it stick out. And you see what I was talking about before, the body panel here, it's in line with the actual tyre, which is how I wanted it to look. And it's just sitting so nicely, sitting perfect, I'd say. Now the front as well, even though, ignore the dent here, ignore this horrible dent, and ignore the scratched alloy. I'm going to get some new ones soon. Even that, they're both on 15mm front and back, so the spacers are the same size front and back, which is good. I preferred that. Now you can tell I've cleaned the back wheels and not the front, can't you? Jesus, that was stupid. But yeah, that's how the car is looking, and that's how the car's sitting. In my opinion, that's perfect. That's exactly how I wanted the car to look from day one when I bought it. Now, with that being said, the H&R springs that I bought, perfect. The I-back springs, which were another set of springs I was looking at. Hopefully my hair, I think my hair's a mess. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. The I-back springs, I've heard they're not very good. Like, they don't really lower it that much. I think they lower it by 20mm or 25mm as well, as the same as these, but I've heard bad things compared to the H&R. And you know Georgia with the S1, she got H&R. I know that's Audi, but H&R springs on hers, and she says even though that it's uncomfortable, I think that's just her being a wuss, really. I don't think it's that uncomfortable, but she says the springs and the handling is loads better as well, and I can confirm now after driving my car for a couple of days with these new springs on that yeah, absolutely. If unless you're gonna go for something like bags, like with the air suspension, or you're gonna get proper full-on what are they called, coilovers, unless you're gonna get coilovers, I think these H&R springs are they're definitely the cheapest way to make your car look how it should have from factory, and I'll definitely recommend. I'll obviously do another update video once I've been driving with them for a few weeks or a few months, and hopefully there's nothing that's going to go wrong with them. But with that being said, stay tuned. If you want to support me and you want to help me out, please do hit subscribe. I really want to get to 500 subscribers within the next 2 months. I think we can do that, because the last video, or one of my first videos that blew up, it got like 4,000 views, and you guys absolutely killed it. And you obviously, you lot watching now, you all subscribed, and it was I think I gained like 100 subscribers just from that one video, which was absolutely insane. That really motivated me, and I really want to see that kind of action again. So please do like, comment, let me know what you enjoyed about the video, let me know what you want to see from me, and next time I modify my car, we'll probably it might be a remap, you know, it might be more power. So stay tuned for that one as well. Make sure you subscribe for that, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Hope you have a great day.